Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to today's presentation, 24 September 2021. It's 66 degrees here in Los Angeles, California, and where I am anyway. Sometimes it gets pretty warmer. The temperature increases as you go east. As you know, I am closer to the ocean, so the temperatures are considerably lower than as you go inland. The wind is at 10 miles an hour, but it seems like it's more than 10 miles an hour, so I couldn't really do a presentation outside because of the wind. If the wind is too much, it messes with the audio and you can't hear what I am saying. So I am coming to you today from the tin house. The tin house is where the washer and dryer is located, and some various things that you might find in a tin house or a shed, a storage unit perhaps, various aerosol cans of various products, grease, WD-40, insect repellent, liquid polish, I would tell you one thing is good that I think everybody should know about. There's a product that you can buy. You know when you buy something and they put the stupid price tag on it and it leaves a mess? You can get a product in any automotive store, and it's adhesive wax and mark remover. This is by 3M, and this is a great product for removing messy, sticky, unsightly, offensive, toxic remains from when you try to rip a price tag off a particular product that you purchased. And it works great. It's got a child-proof cap, so you don't have to worry about poisoning your children. It takes a considerable amount of pressure to remove the cap. And this says also suitable for vinyl and glass surfaces. Easy to use. Quickly removes wax, silicone, and adhesive residue. And the residue is what I'm talking about. I can't stand it when you buy something and then you remove the price tag and you've got a mess. It defeats the whole purpose of buying something that should be pretty brand new and unblemished. So this is a good product. This is one of the things in the tin house. I have a radio here in the tin house, my bonsai tools, and Windex and Armor All, and this is another pretty good product. I don't know if anybody knows about this. This is 303. 303 is great for aerospace protectant, protector area special, and this is for boats and cars and campers and RVs, you name it. It's 303. Makes things look brand new, sort of like an Armor All, but it, as you know, the sun beats down on certain surfaces. It'll weather beat it like you see an old guy's leathered face. You don't want a leathered face or a leathered surface, I guess. Anyway, that's the tin house. I keep some shoes in here, and I had a kayak once. I still have some life preservers and some motorcycle helmets, and just things you might find in a storage unit, or in this case, a tin house. Yesterday's update on yesterday, I mentioned the North Island, but I didn't tell you where it was. It's in the East River of Manhattan, the North and South Island, two tiny islands, and between the Bronx and Rikers Island. So if you're looking at a map, we're trying to find the location of North Island. That's where it is. It's in the East River, between the Bronx and Rikers Island. And Rikers Island, if you don't know, is a prison facility that's been around for quite some time. I think they're in the process of trying to figure out how to close that facility because it's so old. And I know there's a word that I want to call it, but I'm afraid to butcher yet another word on this presentation. Antiquated. It's antiquated. Rikers Island prison is antiquated. And there's a lot of little islands on the East Rivet. There's Roosevelt Island and Governor's Island. And it's quite fascinating. If you're ever going to go to New York City, you definitely want to check out some of the other opportunities that you may not know about. Today's 24 September, and in 1906, the Devil's Tower in the Black Hills of Wyoming was the first national monument. It's located in northeastern Wyoming. It's also known as Bear Lodge Butte. It's 1,267 feet tall, or 386 meters. The summit, or the top, here we go. Can't call the top the top. We've got to call the top the summit. We don't want to disappoint our college and university friends by not using very large, complicated nomenclature. So the summit, or in this case, the top, is 5,112 feet above sea level, and or 1,559 meters. I don't know if this is correct. This is the first time I'm going to try this. Its location is 45 degrees, 35 feet, 25 inches north, and 104 degrees, 42 feet, 55 inches west. And that's the I think this is what they use to target when they want to blow stuff up. Again, I'm lost for words, which is, yeah, if you've been watching any of these videos, you know it's not uncommon. So this is quite a scene. It sits on a 1,347 acre property. And it's or 545 hectares, and Theodore Roosevelt was the president who christened it the first national monument in the United States in 1906. And this is a tall structure. I think it was in a movie. Somebody was telling me it was in some kind of movie, a Spielberg movie or something. Again, I don't have the time to take the time to think about what I want to tell you if I can't remember it. I just have to move on, especially when you're in the tin house. I wanted to make this presentation in the community center. There's one of the residents in there on the phone making doctor's appointments, and this can go on forever. I don't know why at 5:30 p.m. she's in there talking, making some kind of medical, and then she finished one, and then she said, is it okay if I make another one? So I mean, this is an example of, you don't talk to your doctor, you talk to the woman or the man at the desk who wants to copay, who wants to make the appointment. You talk to everybody and their mother except the doctor. I mean, you probably talk to the guy taking a toll at a toll booth longer than you talk to your doctor. Anyway, so I just said, you know what? I got to get this out. I did some research last night, some fascinating research I want to let you know about. So I don't want to not make a presentation today. So I'm in the tin house because of the wind. And also I want to try to give you different backgrounds or locations for these presentations so I don't put you to sleep. So this is Devil's Tower. You have to Google it, and you'll find all about the Devil's Tower. And the Indians think that it's got these shafts, these granite shafts of different kind of volcanic action that portrayed this thing and pushed this thing up into the sky, the Devil's Tower. And the Indians think it was because there was a couple of girls, some Indian girls, and the bear was running after them, and they climbed up the top of the thing, and it went up in the air. You know how the American Indians are always got schemes on what they think is going on, and the serrations in the tower are from the bear's claws. And then there's some boys that were there, and they got in trouble with the bear, and they shot it with a few arrows, and then and then there's another one. But so it got me to think about bears, because of the Indians thinking why this thing is why it is here, and I'll get to that in a minute, about the bears. And this is kind of a convoluted presentation, very convoluted. I can feel it's convoluted before you even know it's convoluted. I know it's convoluted, and I don't know what to say. It's the other thing today in 2015 in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, near the Red Sea, approximately 769 people were trampled to death while making a pilgrimage. Maybe I should get a CAT scan. A pilgrimage to Mecca, and but the reports have said that could have been 2,400 people got stampeded and lost their lives in 2015. Mecca is one of the most holiest places in Islam. That's where they believe Muhammad was the birthplace of the Prophet Muhammad. It's just as important as the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem for the Jewish community, or the Vatican, or Jerusalem where Christ was born for Christians. It is the big one. It is the Disneyland, like so to speak, not derogatorily, but it is the big one. The Wailing Wall for the Jewish people, and Mecca for the Muslim people, and that happened today, unfortunately. But it was not the first time that there was a tragedy. There wasn't. This is not the first time there was a tragedy. They also had a problem in 1990, on July 2nd, there was 1,426 people lost their lives. It was a tunnel or a passageway of some kind, and the cooling vents failed, and that caused people to lose air. And you know what happens when you lose air. There might have been a stampede as well. So between the vents and the air ducts being unserviceable. I went to a wedding once in New York, and it was in July, and it was a very expensive affair, and the air conditioner broke down. You should have been at that wedding. It was like being inside a gym working out. And they lost 1,426 people. And what this pilgrimage is every Muslim, if they're able and healthy and they can do it and they can afford it, well, one time they have to make this pilgrimage to Mecca. And most of these big problems happen at the 12th month of the year, or whatever it is. I didn't divulge when the exact time it is, because it's not in my language. But you can go at other times during the year, and that's why if I go to church, after the church is over, I just sit in my pew for 20 minutes and let everybody get out of the parking lot first, because the last thing you want to do is get in the church parking lot after church, because people are racing out of that parking lot like they've got like their house is on fire. So you got to be careful at religious services of all kinds. People are very, very holy in church or in wherever they practice, but once they hit the road and the rubber hits the road, all bets are off. So let me get to what I want to say, and then I'm going to have to wrap this up, because I can feel it's spinning out of my control. This presentation is spinning out of my control. So why was I'm talking about bears now? All right, I'm just going to tell you what I want you to do if you want to do it. I'm not even going to do a recap today. I'm not brave enough to even do a recap today. I got another package today from my brother Jay. It hasn't been opened and will not be opened until it's thoroughly examined for safety. That'll be in another presentation. There's a book called Night of the Grizzlies. by Jack Olson. And you can get this book, I guess, wherever you gotta find it. You gotta, you know. I think the problem with these presentations is I know I can't talk for too long, and just talking a little is like 20 minutes. So between not being able to pronounce any words and the rush on the clock to get it done, so I don't have people screaming it's too long, it adds to the chaos of these videos. I mean, but I release them anyway. You know, I'm just gonna release. Life is too short. Just release the video. People will understand. People will know what they want to know and see what they want to see. So it's a book by Jack Olson. It's called Night of the Grizzlies. And it is a horrible story that happened in 1967 on August 13th. There was a terrible bear attack. And the reason I'm talking about this now is because the Indians were talking about why this Devil's Tower is up there. You know, American Indians always have some kind of theory, some kind of scheme to explain natural phenomena, perhaps. And so they knew a lot about bears, and bears probably killed many, many Indians. I mean, there were many bears. But in 1967, Americans, they didn't realize the danger that the bear posed to them. So they were very naive, and it's just unbelievable. So again, the Night of the Grizzlies by Jack Olson. It's a book. And it is a good book. I haven't read it, but I will get that book. And two young women lost their lives, both 19 years old, in Glacier National Park in Montana. And maybe that's why that's in Wyoming. Julie Helderson and Michelle Coons both lost their life that evening. And now you can go on PBS. I recommend you go to PBS on your computer and just look up Glacier Park's Night of the Grizzlies. This is a 1 hour and 26-minute documentary, a very good documentary. It was originally aired in May 8th of 2011, and this tells the story of that tragic night in August 1967 that befell these outdoor people. And it is just, it's horrific. It's frightening, you know. And also, if you're interested in any of this, what I'm talking about, I also went on Wikipedia, and I typed in list of fatal bear attacks in North America. List, just type in list of fatal bear attacks in North America on Wikipedia, and you will see all the bear attacks that have been documented all the way from the 1800s till today. Some of the bears that killed people were captives. They were in zoos. A lot of the people that were killed by bears were hunters or fishermen. One hunter thought the bear was already shot to death and approached the bear, and the bear was still alive, and killed him. These bears are predatory, which means they stalk their victims. They rip people out of tents. They go into people's homes and cabins. It's just they pull people out of trees. And of course, you've got to play dead, but it's hard to play dead when you're in extreme pain. Before he leaves you alone, the bear kind of messes with you a bit, but you've got to play dead. It's the only way to survive. And anyway, so that's what I got. That's how I got to this bear. And I saw it already. I watched it again last night, and it's just fascinating. So I'm not going to recap Mecca and the tragedy that happened there in 2009 and 2015. but I will recap this, and then I gotta get off this. I gotta get off. This is a train wreck. If you go to YouTube and you watch other people's YouTube presentations, I mean, I can't even hold a candle. Where's the candle? Do I have a candle here? I can't even hold a candle. They got music. I've talked about this. They've got nomenclature. They put nomenclature. And they've got this, and they've got this, and they edit it beautifully, and nothing. But I tell you, I have enough. I can't even find the time sometimes to do this. So I don't know where these people are finding all the time. So on PBS, you want to log on to your pbs.com or whatever it is, and go and try to find the program Glacier Park's Night of the Grizzlies. Glacier Park's Night of the Grizzlies. And you can watch it. Or if you prefer, you can read the book Night of the Grizzlies by Jack Olson. And just fascinating. I wouldn't be telling you about it if it wasn't just fascinating. You know, America was a different place in 1967. The cameras had flash bulbs, and they were square, and you had to, you know. And so that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up here. There's some other things I wanted to discuss, but I think I should cut my losses. And there's another wonderful YouTube channel I found, which I'll talk about more, but I'll just give you the name. It's called Crime Pays, but Botany Doesn't. Crime Pays, but Botany Doesn't. And it is unbelievable. It's a guy from Chicago with a Chicago accent that goes all over the places and shows you all the botany, all the different flowering trees and creatures and plants and rocks. This guy is, and he doesn't mispronounce any words. All the words are pronounced just right. I think he's from Oakland, California. And he just pronounces these words that are this long just beautifully. And then he puts the words on the screen so you can see the word and then see the way he pronounces the word. And just like, it's unbelievable. So have a great, it's Friday, have a great weekend. And I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know if I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything.